All right, y'all, what's up? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Jumping right into it. This is about the BlackInc Aero one-piece bar and stem. In my opinion, this is the best looking aesthetic functionality. This is the best bar on the market right now. I wanted this bar for freaking so long, and one of the reasons I got the Ostro van is because it came with this bar. And I just want to show you like an in-depth look of this bar, right? Aesthetically, man, it just looks good, bro. The craftsmanship that went into this, the design, the ergonomic, I guess, features of it is very, very nice. As you can see, when you are in the tops of the bar, it's kind of got a slope to it, you know. So instead of your hand being straight, it's kind of at a curve, right? It's kind of a little more ergo for you, right? Another thing that I really like about it, on this corner, some bars are kind of have more of a hard angle, kind of like because you know I've been rocking the Cannondale system for freaking forever, and I got the Cannondale. Matter of fact, I got a couple bars right here, and I can kind of show you some comparisons so you can see what I'm talking about. If you look at the Cannondale bar, you see it's kind of more of a hard angle. This kind of has more of a relief on the side. I also have a set of vision bars, and this is the vision joints, and you can see it's kind of like more of a hard angle as well. And as you can see, this kind of has more of a relief. So if you are the person that's kind of like riding on the edge of the bar, it kind of gives you, you know, a place to put your hand. Also, when you're trying to get into like your little, like an aero sphinx position or something like that. Another thing I like about the bar, I love the flare. If you look at this bar just coming straight from the top, you can see that when you're in the drops, it flares out. And it has a very generous flare. And I really, really like that about this bar. And like I said, kind of showing you some comparisons, right? The Cannondale system, it flares as well, but the flare is a little bit different. When it flares, it doesn't flare as aggressively. You know, it's kind of like a gradual slope. When you look at the Factor bar, it kind of bumps out more. You know, when you see it jumps out hard. It's like a very aggressive flare. And I really, really like that, right? And like I said, just comparing to some other bars, the Vision bar, it bumps out too. Now this one has an aggressive bump as well. Now, differences with the Vision and the Cannondale and some of the other ones I will kind of show you, right? With the Vision right here, it's kind of sloped. So when you're in the drops, it's not a continuous circle, it's kind of flat. So your hand kind of rests here. And that's kind of thing like you either like it, you either love it or you hate it, right? Same deal with the Cannondale. When the Cannondale in the drops, the tops of these drops, it's flat up here. So when you rest your hand, it's completely flat. On the Visions, it's sloped. On the Cannondales, it's flat. But on the BlackInc, it's just a traditional round. So it's round all the way through the drops, which is good. I didn't have an issue with the Cannondale one or the Vision one, but it does have like a cut to it. Now just showing you a closer look at the bar. When it is on the bike, this is what it looks like. This is that profile, very aero, man, very streamlined. Like I said, I love the look of this bar. It just looks so freaking good, man. And like I said, the craftsmanship that went into this, it's clean, bro. I love the gloss accents on the mat. It's just a very, very good looking bar. Now, routing these cables, I'll kind of talk to you about that. That's kind of interesting, right? It does have the little pull guide strings or guide wires that's already in it. And it doesn't look like it's very hard to run the wires, but I already installed this on the bike at one time and then I took it off, right? It's kind of difficult to route the cables. And one of the reasons I say that, because these holes that are on the side right here, they are not forgiving, man. It freaking sucks running cables through there. And when I was hooking this, when I was hooking these bars up, I'm hooking it up using SRAM. So all I had was just the brake hoses, just the hydraulic hoses for the front and the rear, and it was a pain. If I was doing this like running like an older Di2, any like 11 speed, it'd probably be a lot to run those hydraulic hoses through there along with any Di2 wires. So something to be mindful of, right? Now on the Factor, all the cables route down the steer tube. So just like where these guide wires are, when you run those brake hoses through, they come through the inside of the bar, and they come right along the steer tube straight down. And that's how you route them. Now this right here that says this little grommet that says Factor, that's just a grommet. You can take that off. And once you take this off, if you have a bike and your cables exit in front of the bike, this is where the hoses will come out or the wires will come out. Or if you just want to run external wires, you can run it externally and have them come out and they will exit here. There's no space for them to exit like any other place on the bar. All the wires will exit through here. So for those of you that want to run it fully internal, or you kind of want a semi-internal, external, that's how you would route the cables. As far as the computer mount, it's right here. It's just a single bolt, and I'm going to show you what the computer mount looks like. Now, the original BlackInc bars, because this is like the second variation of them, the Aero ones. I had the other ones before, and I didn't really like the computer mounting system. It was coming apart a couple times, and I had to put a lot of Loctite on it for it to stay still. But they redid it, and this is what it looks like. This is the new one that goes on the new set of bars. I like this a lot better. One of the things that's very dope about it is once you secure it to the bar, you got another screw, and this lets you adjust the pitch of your bike computer to your liking. On the bottom of the computer mount, you can attach, something else. Usually like maybe something like from K-Edge, so that way you can have a GoPro mount or something like that. If you don't want to have something attached to the bottom of this, they actually come up with another piece. And what this is when you connect this up, you can connect a computer mount to one part, and then you can have a whole another separate thing if you want to connect, a light, action cam, or something like that. So you can have this mount that allows you to connect two things, or use this single mount where you can only mount one thing. I usually do just the one mount because I usually do my GoPro on top of my bars, and then my light, I use a different light system that mounts to the fork. But this is a lot better, in my opinion, this design versus the last design. Also, if you are running a smaller bike computer, maybe like a Wahoo Bolt or like a Garmin 520, 820, you could take the insert and move it closer. That way the computer sits closer to the bar. If you have a larger computer like a Garmin 1030 and you need a little bit more space, you can move the insert forward so it accommodates for a larger computer. So depending if you want your computer closer to the bar, further away from the bar, you have those options, and you can control the pitch. The older style of computer mount, it was just one size. Once you put it on there, you couldn't control the pitch. However it was, it was. For reference, this bar is the 40 by 90. I don't even know if it'll pick up, but I'm gonna try. This is the 40 by 90, and all these bars are a -6. Now, when it comes to measuring this bar, when they measure the width, they measure it from center to center. So since this bar is a 40, center to center, it's 40. If you go from the outside of the bar to the other outside to outside, it's 42. And everybody measured things a little bit differently, and that was one of the issues that I had, because on my Cannondale bars, I was running a 42 bar. And the reason why I run a 42, it's just comfortable for me. But the way Cannondale measures it, it's outside to outside. So if a Cannondale bar is a 42, it's outside to outside, and then center to center is a 40. So when I first bought my bike, I ordered the 42 bar, and it was way too big. Because when I measured the bar, center to center was 42, And then the outside was 44. So the bar was way too big. So I had to send the bar back and then get another bar. But Factor was super cool about it. They wasn't tripping. I told them what was going on, told them it was my mistake on the measurement. I let them know. They said, hey, ship it. I ship it to them. They received it the next day. They shipped me out a new bar, no questions asked. That was great customer service. But I had just did a poor job of measuring. So if you are measuring this bar and you want to know the exact measurement, whatever it says, that's the center to center measurement. If you want a 38, or if it's a 38 bar, it's going to be 38 center to center. Outside to outside, it's going to be a 40. So I just kind of wanted to show everybody that, right? Now, another thing people want to know is like, how much does this thing weigh? And we're going to find that out. So what I'm going to do is get my scale. I got this little cup right here and get this 0. On the scale, this bar weighs 389 grams. Now that's just the bar, right? The bar, the top cap, all that other good stuff. And it might be just a couple grams lighter once I take these routers out, right? But then also this is the computer mount. So I'm gonna put the computer mount on there. Total weight with the computer mount is 425. And I would say that's pretty decent for a one-piece bar and stem, but what's going on in the world right now. But total weight is 425. Bar, stem, one piece, top cap with the computer mount. And I don't know where I put that other piece. I'm just gonna measure, I'm just gonna weigh this just to see what the difference is. Just to see, let me zero this real quick. This is the computer mount by itself. Computer mount by itself is 35 grams. This piece that connects, you can run 2 attachments, is 21 grams. Now, I will say this, right? The bar is carbon. The top cap is carbon. Now, this computer mount, this is like an aluminum. This is not carbon. It's not plastic. This is like aluminum. It feels very, very robust. I like the look and feel of this. It feels legit, and it has the little BlackInc logo on the front. Same thing with this piece. I've seen some computer mounts, and usually a piece like this might be like plastic or something. This is aluminum. It's kind of like an aluminum. You can see inside of here, all the screws come with the Loctite on it. You see the little blue Loctite on there, and it gives you a torque spec. So the computer mount, it has, let me see if I can see that. I don't know if you can see it. It has 3 Newton meters on there. The torque specs on the stem bolts is, that's interesting, 5.2 Newton meters. I've never seen a stem torque measurement as a point. It's usually like 5 Newton meters, 6 Newton meters, or something like that. I've never seen a 5.2, but if it says 5.2, there might be a reason why it says 5.2. So I'll take that into consideration when I put it on there. Also, where the shifters bolt up, it has a nice kind of, I almost want to say it's like a fiber paste or fiber grip that's built into the bars. That's something that's not abnormal. And kind of showing you some comparison on stuff, I'm going to show you something else too. On the Cannondale system, it has the same thing. It's just not as pronounced. As you can kind of see how this is. You can feel it and you could tell it's there, but it's not very pronounced. On the BlackInc one, it's way more aggressive. You can feel it a whole lot more, right? One thing I didn't like about the Vision bars, the Vision bars have it too, but every set of used Vision bars I've seen, they all are cracked up like this. And this isn't a crack in the carbon, it's just this paste on here. It's like, like a disposable one-time use. Every set of bars that I've seen that were being sold used, they're like this. And I've had bars that I've used and then sold, and I've put the shifters on one time, never moved them, but every time I take it apart, this is how it looks on the Vision bars. I don't know why Vision do that, but they do. The Cannondale system, I done seen plenty of used bars. I done mounted stuff up and took it apart, recabled my bike, repositioning things, and it looks clean. I done probably mounted something on here, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 times. And kind of looking at the BlackInc, I'm willing to bet that it's kind of similar to the Cannondale, but it might be even more robust and more durable. But I really like that. But the bar looks freaking amazing. It feels good. I like the shape of it. I like the design of it, the ergonomics. This is a clean looking bar, man. I want to say if you were to go out and buy this bar by itself, it's I want to say it's like either $650 or $675, but it is a very good looking bar. And I'm gonna touch on the cable routing again real quick, right? So one of the things that makes it easy for me, one of the easiest bars to route was the Cannondale system. And one of the reasons why is because how the holes are on the Cannondale. If you look at these holes where you are running the cables, they're freaking huge, bro. Not only are they huge, but there's also holes on the back side of the bars. So sometime when I'm running cables, I can push a cable all the way through. And if I need to point it down the direction of this hole, I can put something on this side to help guide the wires through there. And as thin as this bar is, it's very easy to route. This is probably one of the easiest bars I ever routed up. And these holes in the front are very forgiving, very large. And the inside of this bar is very clean. A hard bar for me to route was the Vision. Now this is the Vision M.A.S joint. This joint is super thin. The inside of this isn't super clean, but it's just so freaking narrow, man. It's so narrow, and the way the M.A.S bars are designed, these caps can come off and you can put arrow extensions on top of it. So it makes it very crowded because there's bolt holes in there. So routing cables through, it's a freaking pain routing this bar. And I thought the BlackInc bar would be very easy to route. As far as feeding things through is very simple. And there are channels that kind of guide the wires through, but just pulling the wires through this opening, dude, it's a pain because it's very tight, man. It's very tight getting that dang on wire up out of there. But once you kind of get it through, you can see they got these guides, and it kind of it'll push the wire through. It kind of guides it through. But it's a pain getting that wire through there. And like I said, when I hooked this up, I was hooking this up with SRAM. And I only had 2 wires, bro. I just had the brake hose from the front brake and the hydraulic hose from the rear brake. And it was a pain. I was getting pissed off how long it was taking me to actually route the wires through there. But this is getting long. I didn't want to make it long, but I just wanted to show you a detailed look of these BlackInc Aero bars. They look freaking amazing, bro. It's a great looking bar. I am a handlebar guy. This is great. I think the only thing that would make this bar even better if they offered it in different degrees of slope. Because right now everything is a -6. It'd be awesome if they had like a -10, or even if they offer like a -17. I'd think it would look even better. But this is the bar, man. Time to put it on the bike and get the Factor put together. And that's all I got for y'all. This is your boy, Mr. RobbArmstrong, and I am out.
I remember, I don't forget, bitch, I'm everywhere in town. Think about the ways to get my bird up.